But I see a black MAGA person who is carrying Donald Trump's water and they know that he's lying, it is the shortest line to the front. Because if you're black and you're whatever, you're just in line with a bunch of other Democrats that are doing the same thing that you're doing. But if you become a black MAGA person, it's like, whoa, let's book this person, let's put him on television.
So you don't think you can be a sincere black MAGA person?
I don't think that you can be a rational MAGA, be black and be a rational MAGA person. I think you can be black and be a Republican.
I think they would find that very insulting.
Well, I mean, the truth is often insulting.
We're going to have to give this one 2 snaps up in a circle.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. So I wanted to come on and talk about Sour Lemon Don Limon. Don Limon decided that he was going to go on Bill Maher's podcast, Club Random, and talk about black MAGA supporters. Oh yeah, he woke up and he chose violence. He just decided to go off on a tangent to talk about black MAGA supporters as if we care about what he thinks. Because God forbid you be a person of color with your own brain and not want to be on the Democratic plantation. I want you guys to see what Don Limon and his sour lemons had to say. Watch.
You can't get more of and that's why he will always have a fan base somewhat similar to Trump's, because there are people who are like, damn, that guy cannot be intimidated.
But is that something that's admirable?
No.
Should we celebrate that?
I'm not celebrating it.
Yeah.
I'm saying if the subject is what you were just talking about, people who don't give a fuck. I said, Fetterman is kind of that guy. Trump is kind of that guy.
Fetterman is more of a libertarian to me than a...
Well, whatever it is, he says what he thinks.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care if you don't like it. Kanye, I mean, to me, that's his performance art. He is at the very edge of that, like, I dare you to completely destroy me. I'm just going to say, I don't know if he even believes that shit about Hitler, but I think it's more the fact that I will say it than what he's saying. If there was something else that was more egregious, I think he would say that. But he found that thing, and that's his litmus test. And he will always have fans.
Okay, so you're right. He will always have fans, but my question is why? Why be an anti-Semite?
Well, I just explained why. Not because I don't think he really cares that much about it, but because it's a way to demonstrate you cannot intimidate me into not saying anything.
I think it is. I don't think it's that. I think when people do that, it's the shortest line to the front of either promotion, in whatever sense it is. It could be promoting a product. It could be promoting themselves. And you are doing something that is out of the box to get attention, just for the sake of getting attention, or just for the sake of pure ambition. Where if the same thing that when I see, not all black Republicans, but I see a black MAGA person who is carrying Donald Trump's water and they know that he's lying, it is the shortest line to the front. Because if you're black and you're whatever, you're just in line with a bunch of other Democrats that are doing the same thing that you're doing. But if you become a black MAGA person, it's like, whoa, let's book this person, let's put him on television.
So you don't think you can be a sincere black MAGA person?
No, I just said, I don't think that. I just said, I think there can be sincere Republicans.
But you can't be a sincere black Republican?
I don't think that you can be a rational MAGA, be black and be a rational MAGA person. I think you can be black and be a Republican.
I think they would find that very insulting.
Well, I mean, the truth is often insulting.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
Don Lemon has no room to talk about anybody, okay, using something to get ahead, because Don Lemon was talking about regular news, regular things, and he was absolutely boring and was almost on the verge of being fired then. However, once CNN switched over to that ultra-liberal, ultra-left-wing platform, then he decided to go ahead and throw his sassiness and the fact that he was gay up in the forefront. And that's when he decided he would be able to interject himself in everything and always be the victim, thus making himself the narrative, thus having a reason to be on CNN. Don Lemon can throw all the shade and glitter he wants, because at the end of the day, we are authentic. He is not. You know, the pull up your pants black boys, that was Don Lemon. And then he switched to becoming a victim and being gay all the time and having to talk about that all the time when CNN went ultra liberal. So who is being authentic? Who is looking for attention? And that attention didn't even serve you because you're sitting on the couch at home doing StreamYard on YouTube. Thank you.
I wouldn't say that because there are cases to be made that they're making. I never would go all the way to Donald Trump because he does not concede elections. That's my biggest issue with him. So like the Republican types who think, oh, someday Bill Maher's going to, no, Bill Maher's always going to be where Bill Maher's always been. If you change enough, like, yeah, you're going in the wrong direction. But you know, I think 20% of black men voted for Trump.
Well, I think that that's okay that 20% of black men voted for Trump.
Can't they just think differently? Can't people just
be
have
uninformed?
different? It's not just like you're informed about everything. Like you don't think anything
No, but
you
I don't
have
think
is
you're
skewed.
I don't think you're hearing me. I said that I believe that black people can be Republicans. Remember, there were lots of Republicans. Frederick Douglass.
It was different in those eras.
It was different. I was a Republican, by the way, but I started as a Republican.
Is that right?
Yes. But so I think that a lot of what MAGA does is irrational, and it's often based in lies.
That was exactly what I said. Don Lemon, when he first started, was the pull up your pants man. Okay. You didn't hear one thing about him being sassy. I'm sorry. You didn't hear one thing about him being gay. You only heard everything about pull up your pants and have decorum. Only when it became marketable to be gay on CNN did Don Lemon change his thoughts. That's not authentic. That's called riding the wave, sir. And that is what Don Lemon does.
It's people that you said you don't like, people who deny elections, who deny insurrections, or whatever. So that's the MAGA party. That is the MAGA party. I'm not saying that's all Republican.
No, look.
So for a person of
That's
color,
also
a
Hillary
black
Clinton.
person, to to believe, in that, when it is based in irrationality and a lot of it is based in racism. For me, I have lots of questions about that. I don't question black Republicans.
I'm going to I mean, do you talk to people like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like I had Byron Donalds on my show.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I got to my office today and there was a lovely pin that he had sent me. It had his name on it, an American Eagle, and I like Byron.
Yeah.
I'm just, I just can't live in this country where I hate half the people who, yes, think fundamentally differently about a lot of things. I've said this here before. We have to be able to get to this point where you can say to somebody who you agree with A, B, C, D, but E, whoa. How could they believe in E if we both believe in A, B, C, and D? And it is a conundrum, but it does happen in human nature.
Well,
and you just have to be able to go, okay, we have different upbringings, different influences in our life, different, metabolism, we're just different. Yeah. And we come to different conclusions.
I understand that, Bill.
And you can't be so...
But it doesn't mean because I can see what is happening and I live in reality, it doesn't mean that I hate anyone. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate Donald Trump. I don't hate MAGA.
Right.
Right. But I understand that MAGA is based on you were not born in this country. MAGA is based on Mexicans are rapists. MAGA is based on that Donald Trump did not inspire an election. MAGA is based on Donald Trump didn't try to overturn an election. MAGA is based on Donald Trump. They don't believe that he was found guilty in a court of law. So it's built on lies. So that's why I question that. To understand and to be able to see through that, it doesn't mean that you hate people. It just means that you're being rational and logical. As I said, I think they're black Republicans. I was one. I think that's all fine, but I think that MAGA it's problematic and it's based on lies and racism.
See, Don Lemon is the type of person and liberal that I despise the most, all right? He's inauthentic. And on top of that, he's projecting, because earlier he said that Republicans or MAGA supporters say anything just to get attention because they want to get on television. Well, Don Lemon was fired from television and he desperately wants to get back because he doesn't like really being here on YouTube, right? They have him as the person that comes and do commentary every now and then, but he's not getting a job back because they don't care for Don Limon after he said what he said to that white woman. But he wants to say that MAGA is racist when the liberals are definitely racist. They say things like Jim Crow Joes, you ain't black. They say things like Jim Crow Joes, we're going to have y'all back in chains. They say things like that. We don't want our kids going to a jungle for a school. Yeah, that was Joe Biden. So all of those nasty things, including the eulogy that Joe Biden gave at a former KKK member's funeral, yeah, that would be racist. And the fact that you can actually look up what Donald Trump has actually done for black people, I mean, actually done. He was the one that chartered the jet for Nelson Mandela to come home after spending 28 years in prison. That was Donald Trump, not racist Jim Crow Joe, and not Kamala, okay? And definitely not Ratchet Crockett. Donald Trump was the one that funded, not once, but twice, Jesse Jackson's presidential run, okay? It wasn't none of the black people. None of the black people put up money. That was Donald Trump. It was Donald Trump who helped Mike Tyson. It was Donald Trump who helped Tupac. It was Donald Trump who helped Michael Jackson out at his worst time. But yet he gets labeled as a racist, and he doesn't even talk about all this. You can just actually go and look it up and see it. These fools like this who tap dance for the Democratic Party because they want to be a perpetual victim, and he definitely is. He is a gay victim. Everything is victim, woe is me. And he throws the gayness out there so we can all feel sorry for him, but we definitely don't. Don Limon is about as phony as they come. He's definitely smart, but he plays dumb because he wants the attention that he says that MAGA, black MAGA supporters want. And you, sir, have no more DEI, which is why you're sitting on the couch at home just like everybody else. You guys get down in the comments and let me know what you thought about Don Limon being all sour here on Bill Maher's program. What did you think about what he said about black MAGA supporters and that they're just trying to get attention? So they're doing something out there and outrageous. We just want attention. So why not be a black MAGA supporter? Like, child, please. We don't have to support Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a politician. And if we disagreed with him, we would disagree with him. But the difference is we don't just blindly vote. And they're mad at that. They're mad because we won't vote for the lady that puts greens in a tub and call herself black. You guys get down in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl, Mika, and I'm out. Peace.